Hi guys, I'm here today to, this video is about, the life with two kids under 2. Well, me and my husband now, I've only been married once, but when we found out we was pregnant with our son, we weren't married, we hadn't known each other very long, but we were thrilled to have a baby, because we knew it was in the plans, we knew we was going to get married. The timing wasn't right. Anyway, well, we found out 2 weeks before Luke's first birthday that we were pregnant again. Me and Jake were excited, but a little drained. We were a little nervous if we could even handle two kids under 2. There's a year and 5 months in between our kids, but we knew we'd love this baby the same. Well, I went to the doctor about 20 weeks and we found out that Alex was going to be a girl. I was beyond thrilled because I wanted a mini me. I always dreamed of having a little girl and dressing up with her and, having the girly things around the house. I loved my playing cars and playing with swords with Luke, but I always wanted a little girl to share my bond with, to share my love of shopping with, because my men, they hate shopping. My baby girl, Alex, was born on October 21st of 2016. I was so thrilled. I woke up that morning, early that morning, about 4:30, having some contractions. We thought, oh, I've been having Braxton Hicks for a long time. For not really a long time, but the day before. So I was like, oh, these must be Braxton Hicks again. Well, I started feeling really nauseated, and so with Luke, the symptoms were not the same with her labor as it is with, the symptoms were not the same as my previous birth, or my previous labor. So I YouTubed it, I Googled it, and I'm thinking, and the symptoms I were having said, hey, your body's getting ready for labor. So I was like, oh, well, it's just getting ready. It's not going to happen for a while. Well, I laid there in bed on and off, and all of a sudden, the contractions started getting a little worse and a little worse. Finally, I woke up my husband, Jake, and I said, Jake, it's time. It's time to go to the hospital. So we took off. We left. We went to the hospital, and we got settled in and everything, and they put the monitors up to me and everything, and in triage, and they said, we're sending you up. You're definitely in labor. So we went up to triage, or we went up to our room, to the labor and delivery room, and about 45 minutes later, Alex Michelle was born, and with no pain medicine, no nothing. They were fixing to hook up my IVs, and I told the nurse, I said, I feel a lot of pressure. And she goes, well, honey, I just checked you. She just checked me about 5 minutes ago, and I was only dilated to an 8. So, she said, well, I'll check you again, but, don't get your hopes up. There's not any progress. And I was leaning up, fixing to get my epidural. Well, she said, honey, you might as well lay down. She said, you're not getting your epidural. She said, you're having this baby naturally. I was like, oh, crap. I looked at Jake and I said, I'm scared. Because, I've seen stories where things go wrong and everything. And she said, don't push until we can get Dr. Barrow in here. So finally they rounded up Dr. Barrow. They got, all the equipment set up and everything. And I pushed maybe for 10 minutes. I had 2 or 3 pushes in, and here came Alex at 6:36 a.m. And nobody was there. My grandparents were actually bringing up my little boy from our house. We live right next door from them. And they had left just a little bit after we did. They decided, when Jake said that they were keeping me and everything, they decided to be up on their way. And they were at Salem, which we live about an hour and 20 minutes from the hospital, and they were about 30 minutes from the hospital when Alex was born. So they got there, and they all got to meet Alex, and we was just beyond thrilled, and the family and friends came up there later. 2 kids under 2, yes, it's stressful. Yes, sometimes some days are better than others. But I wouldn't have it any other way. My little boy, my little girl are precious to me. I wouldn't trade it for the world. There's a reason why we had 2 kids as close as we did. There's a reason, my thing is God wanted us to have 2 babies. and he times everything the way he wants it to. So I'm not trying to get political or trying to get biblical or anything, but that's my output on it. Is I believe that he wanted us to have 2 babies, and that's what we did. We had our 2 babies, and I don't know if there's going to be more in our foreseeable future or not. We may try in a few years, but we are going to wait a few years. I was on the pill when we found out we had Alex, or we was having Alex. I did find out after the fact that my heart medicine that I was on did cause the birth control to be less active. So now we are on, I do have an implant. So far so good. But, you know, life, don't take life for granted. Don't take, you know, like I said, there's a reason why God puts babies and people in your life. And, you know, yes, I'm having to make 2 bottles at a time. Yes, I'm having to change 2 diapers at a time. And at first, I didn't know if I had all the love and attention that I could possibly have another baby at this stage in my life, this soon. But, you know, God doesn't put anything in your life that, you know, you can't handle. And that's the way I look at it. Is some days I'm drained, some days are better than others, but I just take one day at a time, and we have the best time that we can have, me and the 2 kids, while my husband's at work. And when my husband's not at work, we have the best, we give our kids the best lives that we can give them. And my kids are going to grow up the same values that I had and my husband had, and, you know, we'll see how that goes. So anyway,